TOMz.
Welcome to another fresh episode of TOMz, your number one favorite show, your science and technology. Konalago SABC 1 Mzansi for sure. Brought to you by SABC Education.
The coolest science and technology. But today we treat all about solar power. To power up our world.
So the episode and I'm trying to solar about the sun's energy. How can it be harnessed? Discover where the solar power comes from, and we're also going to be finding out about Mzansi creating green and sustainable energy.
Power for making organisms grow, creating and providing a habitat, and also warming up our planet. Idea to power up maphelo a rona. On today's episode. We kick off the show by looking at the different ways humans can harness the energy of the sun. Console glass, their award-winning design solar jar. Solar power is see how solar panel systems are created. SA company Mustek. Celebrate our South African legends as we find out a leader in the solar power industry. Discover the history of solar power. Check out some cool apps for your smartphones and get some awesome career advice from Bachaki Barona today. Solar power. How can we use the energy of the sun to our benefit? So take a look.
Well, the sun is used for photosynthesis. Photosynthesis makes plants.
Kunabantu abasebenzisa amagiza that are powered by solar energy.
Without letsatsi, the Earth would still be very Stone Age and whatnot.
If the Earth didn't have the sun, I think we would die. We use special panels which reflect the sun's rays.
Sunlight is converted into electric waves or something, I think. In the 1960s or something like that.
I don't know where solar power comes from, but I know that solar power is using the sun's rays to create energy.
The sun provides Earth with two forms of energy, light and heat. Solar-powered systems utilize heat energy, while others transform light energy into electricity. So I'm going to how humans harness the sun's energy. Let's go check it out.
Commonly used to harness the sun's energy for use in people's homes. Photovoltaic solar cells can convert light into electricity and were originally developed to provide electricity to satellites. These cells are solar panels, and a 1 square meter solar panel is enough to power a 100-watt light bulb. Solar water heating is glass panels on rooftops. The water is heated as it pumps through the pipes in the panel. Black absorbs the rays of the sun, so the pipe is absorb more heat. A solar furnace uses a large array of mirrors to concentrate the sun's energy into a small space to produce high temperatures for industrial use. PFG class, they've been around for more than 10 years.
So Sambi is to learn more about glass. So check this out.
Sanibonani, igama lami nguzandile ngwakakunene. Ngisebenza eSuntoy. Sisebenza ukwenza ama-solar jar. Today ngizonibonisa ukuthi siwenza kanjani from the start. Mina la i-position yami ukuthi ngiproduce ama-bots, MBs and the DBs, okay? Then ngizonibonisa ukuthi ama-DBs siwenza kanjani. Ama-DBs is about ama-lights lawa esisebenzisa ukulayitha ngawo isolar, okay? Ngicala lana ne ngiqale ngipaste iboard ezingizonibonisa la ngizoyipaste after kuyipaste nizobona sizoqhubeka ngiyayipaste njengamanje okay ngiyayipaste ngiyayithela la iboard yami iposition ngaphansi ne kuyipaste ke ku easy because ngizoyenza so ngayidonsa yeza kimi ngayipusha yaya back and then ipaste isihleli yonke le ndawo le iboard uzoyibona mangiyikhipha ihleli ipaste ingena la kulama position abekiwe for ipaste la kumele kuhlale khona ama bulb iboard yami sengifaka emchinini ke ukuthi umtshini ngustelile ukuthi sirana ama-DBs ne from today. So umtshini uyazenzela, uyasithathela ibhodi uyise ngale uziranele wona. Mawuqeda ukuyirana uzoyikhiphela futhi. Uthatha ama-LEDs uwaplacea kwi-board ne. After that mayisicedile izophuma i-board, umtshini uzosikhiphela yona i-board until i-hot plate lapha.
Ke nna Tumelo wa Monyeki ke berekela mo Suntoy ke tla thoma ka boto e le bone go etswa ko motšhining boto e re bitsa DB after DB ke tlo tšea DB ke tlo tšea DB ka tsentšha di-battery mo after di-battery ka tsentšha DB e fetsa ya light ntho ke magnet ke a itšea ke tlo testa boto yaka ke bone gore ya lighta na ke e boto yaka.
Dumelang, nna ke nna Dimakatso ga Kgobe. E ke bulb e ne ba etsa kwa, e ke solar. Re tlo tšhela glue mo hodima solar. Ke lighta motšhini. Ke tlo šomiša di-solar tse 4. Ke tšhela glue gore bulb e kgone go dula e ome e dule mo dima. Mo soleng go na le negative le positive, le mo bulbong go na le negative le positive. So ke tlo beya positive, negative le negative. Ke emetse motšhini gore o kgone ho tšhesa, ke tšhese bulb. Ke o wa tšhesa, ke tšhisitse bulb. A ke fetsa, ke tlo e lighta, ke checke gore ya lighta na. Ya lighta. O tsa le zenke. Ke tlo ntsha plastiki, ke kenya bulb, ke a busa, ke busetsa plastiki hape, ke nka magnete, go na le dots ka mo. Santse ke be magnete o mo dotsing and santse e lebane le console. Then ke tlo batla rubber e gore re kenye santse e kgone ho dula right ko lebotlolong, e tlo ya ka kwa ko lebotlolong.
Lebitsela ka ke nna Brian, Spana site la assembly, ke tlo bontsha gore kwala jwang solar light charge. Wire e ya henga re thola site le ka la di wire sites, then le henga di le 2, then ke tlo le bontsha gore kwala jwang. Then ke tosa, then ke tlo kenya a solar light panel ko di mo ke tswalle hantle ke lokisa di wire tsa ka di straight to the dot mo le light e leng teng. Then ke tlo nka magnet which is I get it from the lady side ka mona, then ke tlo kenya magnet which is some kind of a switch nyana, then re na le ona light ya rona ke. This thing o khona we use a hulu ko mahaeng most of the time like bana ba bala sekolong ngobo then o khona gore ba charge for like 12 hours ba hanga ko ntle maybe ko spateng then bisu ba khona le light even if they reading or ba dlala go ba etsa eng.
Ha re khutla dipapatsong re celebrate naha ya rona as a leading player in global solar energy. Re ithute gore di solar panel ba di etsa jwang. Ebile happy we want to discover how solar energy works. All this and more after the break. Ha re khutla re tlo ithuta gore batho ba mo South Africa bona ba inventa jwang world-class solar power technologies. Ebile we discover how these technologies are made. All this and more after the break. TOMz. Untouchability TOMz on number SABC 1 Mzansi for sure, proudly brought to you by SABC Education.
And in Yaz Buffet, it's good to bring you the latest trends in science and technologies. Zala Mzansi. Namhla isifunda kabanzi about solar power, and we're also finding out ukuthi abantu bala Mzansi bayenzani to use the sun's energy to power up our world.
Ka jo ba tlo ithuta gore solar energy yona e tswa go kae le gore e sebetsa jwang. Re belang hape re batla bona le gore this concept yona hantle e hlahela go kae, and we also want to learn how these technologies are made.
Sifunda futhi kabanzi about the great SA inventions, and we're also going to be giving you guys some cool career advice for your future.
So see what's coming up next. See why SA is a world leader in solar power. Find out how solar power works. As we discover how solar panels are made. Solar cells are used in solar power systems to convert the sunlight into electricity. Particles of light called photons are created in the center of the sun through the fusion of atoms. It takes a photon about 1 million years to work its way up to the surface of the sun. Once atmosphere in just 8 minutes. Solar panels are made from small units called photovoltaic cells. Each cell is like a sandwich made up of 2 slices of semiconducting material. This material is given a positive and negative electrical charge to create an electrical field. How a photon of sunlight is sharper a cell, it knocks an electron free, and the electric field will push that electron out and transfer it to wires, creating a flow of electricity. Ka 2013, SA's first solar power station get connected to the national grid. Yoneli situated Kwanako Northern Cape, the privately built solar power plant is going to produce enough power to cover the annual electricity amatu ay 33,000.
So basifuna ukuthi lama solar panel systems asebenza kanjani. Sambile sayavakashela Mustek company ukuzibonela thina. So take a look.
Good day. My name is Michael Cassidy. I work for an electronics company called Mustek. We're importers and distributors of solar equipment. Solar energy is the changing or collecting of energy from the sun onto a silicon panel. That silicon panel actually absorbs the energy, and we capture that energy and we put it into the building. These panels, the basic component is silicon. Silicon has got a property to actually capture electricity, and we've used that properties and we're making big panels out of them. These panels are 250 watts. So in the old technology of a good light bulb, that would be 100 watts. So one of these panels, when the sun is shining, could power 2.5 of those lights, of those old technology lights. But now we're changing over to LED lighting. One of these panels could probably probably support 50 light bulbs. So these panels are 250 watts each, so 4 of these panels will create enough power to power one bar of electric fire. On this particular site, we've got almost 1,000 panels, and we're actually powering a big factory downstairs. We're creating almost over 1 megawatt of power each day. And with that megawatt of power, we're actually producing and powering most of this building's power, especially during the weekend. And the viability of solar is down to economics, the cost of electricity and the cost of producing that electricity from solar. If we went back about 5 years ago, it would probably take you 20 years to get your money back by investing in solar. Last year, we saw it under 5 years, that now it's becoming commercially viable to actually invest in solar. The equipment that you actually put into your site, this equipment we've got here on this roof should last us 20 to 30 years. So basically, once we put our investment in there for the first 5 years and we get our money back for the investment, for the next 15 years, the energy that's generated here is free.
These are the two types of commonly available solar panels these days. This is the old technology, this is the new. This is what we call a thin film. It looks very similar. This is actually made from silicon ingots, where we actually cut them into wafers. This one is different in that it's stainless steel with chemicals impregnated into it. And you can see it's thin film and it's flexible. This one needs direct sunlight. It needs to see the sun as best it can all the day. This one doesn't need to see the actual sun. It just has to see the sky. And it can even take power from the sun behind the clouds. This one struggles. This is a solar panel just like the big ones, just a little bit smaller. This is something we developed for rural areas where there's no power at all. We've got hundreds and hundreds of schools in this country. There is no electricity. The children go home at night, they do their homework with candles. So what we did last year, we looked at some new ideas that we could actually offer for rural areas and for rural school children. And this is something we came up with. A tiny panel, pop it on the top of your house in the rural area where there is no power, a little light, a battery to take the power. So during the day, we'll plug the solar panel into the battery. The sun will shine on the panel will put power into the battery, and at the end of the day, the children can have light to do their homework. So during the day, first thing in the morning, we take the battery out of the light, plug it into the solar panel, and we leave it in the sun all day. After one day in the sun, this battery is completely full. And this will give us about 9 to 10 hours of light on this one battery charge. At the end of the day, when we come home, put the battery into the light holder, plug the light into the battery, and then this will give us a very strong light for the next 9 to 10 hours. Two nights to do their homeworks. And at the end of the day, when they finish the homework, you can even hang this up onto the roof. And they can almost light a whole room up, this little light. It's 2 watts, and say this will give about 9 to 10 hours on one battery charge.
Mzansi has established itself as a world leader in inventing and fine-tuning solar power technology.
Our legendary scientists, they will make these technologies not only cheaper, so do you guys know your legends? Well, let's go find out.
Okay, solar energy energy near Vakaduba.
I do know our solar power in South Africa.
I don't know. I think they might have done a few things, building solar panels.
A research team at University of Johannesburg, led by Professor Vivian Alberts, has developed a photovoltaic system as ugenza solar power a more accessible energy option. Uyabona ama-solar panels amaningi asebenzisa silicone-based PV cells. Not only are they expensive, kodwa they can only convert about between 15 to 25% of solar energy received into electricity. The research team iyenze ama-PV cells basebenzisa a thin layer of copper indium alloy, reducing the thickness of the PV cells by 70 times. Lokho kusho ukuthi more cells can be added to the solar panels, futhi azibizi kangako than the silicone option, futhi sizohlala isikhathi eside than the conventional solar panels, all thanks to our legendary scientists.
We've got our social session coming up, so if you want to leave a comment or just drop us a question or even say hi, all you got to do is just drop us a line on Facebook or just tweet us on Twitter and we might be chatting to you a little bit later.
The idea of solar power is for Really want to say some cool apps for your smartphones, and we get some cool career advice from our guests on today's show.
TOMz. We're back with it, and you guys are still tuned in to TOMZ. Kunalago SABC 1 Mzansi for sure. Brought to you by SABC Education. Solar power is fast becoming a competitor in the energy industry because it's a renewable energy and there for anyone to use. So namhlanje sabathola kabanzi just how South Africans are using the energy of the sun to power up their lives.
Solar power yona isebetsa jwang batho bona ba hanesa jwang energy ena ya letsatsi ibile hape re ithute le hore batho ba mo South Africa bona ba etsa jwang these high-tech systems.
So asiboneni ukuthi kusalandelani on today's episode.
Re ithute hore the idea of solar power e tswa ho kae. Check out some cool apps for your smartphone and get some great career advice from our guests on today's show. Harnessing the energy from the sun as in Twincha. During the 4th century BC, the Greek philosopher Socrates bana batla idea entsha ya aha matlu e dumelang hore matlu ana absorb heat e tswang ko letsatsing ha ile winter empaning adula ali cool ha ile summer.
Kunamanje, let's turn back the clock to find out how solar power came to be.
Ama-Greek asebenzise the passive solar design. Ama-Roma ke wona expanded ukusebenzisa kwe-solar energy to heat up their buildings and large central baths. They also used glass to build sun-heated greenhouses. In 1515, Leonardo da Vinci sketched plans for a parabolic mirror that could concentrate the sun's energy to heat a boiler. 2 centuries later, lecebo was used to create the first ever solar furnace. In 1860, a French mathematician developed a solar motor yokuqala, resulting in the first ever steam engine to be powered entirely by the sun. A century later, a solar-powered aircraft yokuqala took flight.
Solar power is providing electricity officing all around the world. It's just the start of renewable energy finding its place in our society.
So this is the very, very new technologies. At the moment it's quite expensive, but it's got its applications. It's very, very light. And as I say, this is what you're going to look out for in the future. It's coming. We would even like to try and make this locally if we can.
Now, if energy will save and gain with solar power, then why not educate yourself via a cell phone yako? The Solar Energy app for Android, a practical guide ngokusebenzisa electric solar panels. Ichaza ukuthi ama solar panels asebenza kanjani, how they can be used, and even includes steps you will need to either design or install solar electricity system from scratch. Mhlambe you're more interested elangeni lethu elimangazayo futhi ufuna ukwazi kabanzi ngalo. The 3D Sun app ikunika a 3D view yelanga. Thanks to NASA's stereo satellites, you can zoom in, rotate, and view the activity happening on the sun. For more info, vakashela on our website with www.tomz.co.za and follow the links.
It's that time of the show, but fair to where we get social with you guys going to Lapimaka via social networks. If you're going to all you got to do is log on Twitter and on Facebook. Blue. Now we've got Don saying he'd like to send a shout out to all his friends, and he thinks it's pretty much cool to use the sun's energy, especially Konala Africa. I agree with Don because the continent yaziwa as the continent with so many hours of sunshine per year. And we are so lucky to use this high-tech technology to take advantage of our sunny skies.
I've got Timmy on Facebook saying uhlala eNorthern Cape and the solar panels were strange, they are so cool and that they've created job opportunities for her family members. Isn't that awesome?
It's fresh.
That is so cool. And people can benefit from the solar power. That is just awesome.
Not only is it affordable and widely available, but also it creates job opportunities, and we're cutting on pollution by not burning fossil fuels.
Eco-friendly. Well, let's go get some career advice from all the cool South Africans.
A lot of people have seen solar, they've heard about it, somebody's done something with it. It's quite expensive at the moment, and many people know much what to do with it. And this is what we had in the computer industry in the late 70s and early 80s. There we had perhaps 30 or 40 dealers in the whole country back in 1980, 1982. Now we've got 10, 15,000 computer dealers, and you'll see the same here with solar, that we've got a handful of people actually doing these projects like this. But in 4 or 5 years' time, we will have thousands of people doing this. And this is the time to start looking at it, getting involved, learning the skills that we can use you in the future. We'll find the projects, but we just need people to help.
ga le nyaka go bereka mmereko go berekang santile ko di college or ko university lo studisha electronic engineering gore le tle le tshwanele nna ge le fa mathata le no tla gona mo la bolela le rena re tlo le thusha gore le gone go bereka botse ko sekolong le tle le berekele rena moki. Thank you.
Now, for more information on today's episode, all you got to do is go onto our website at www.tomz.co.za and then to keep on chatting with us on Facebook and on Twitter. But before we say our goodbyes, let's recap on today's show.
By looking at the different ways humans can harness the energy of the sun through the use of solar cells, solar water heating, and solar furnaces. Roshak gets a proudly South African company, Console Glass, to find out how Ribona the award-winning solar justice Mzansi. Roshak gets a Mustek to see how solar panels are produced. We celebrated our amazing scientists for their innovative ideas to make solar power technologies better. We discovered how ancient civilizations used the energy of the sun. We wanted some cool applications for your smartphones. Ibile rafumana some cool career advice from Bachaki Baruna Bagacheko. Hello, Robata, more information. Rochakele ko www.tomz.co.za and check us out on Facebook and on Twitter. And that's it from us, guys. Next time, we tweet out more about our awesome science and technology.
Konalago SABC 1 Mzansi for sure. Brought to you by SABC Education.
Next time on TOMz, the TOMz team learns about mirrors. See how mirrors are made Mona Mzansi Africa. And check out Mirror Self-Portrait by BK Njangase. Remember to watch TOMz every Monday and Tuesday at 4 p.m. only here on SABC 1 Mzansi for sure.